y'all.
Hi there.
In the movies.
Are we back?
We're doing this thing finally. It's only been, 2 years since the first one?
We've tried to do this a couple times.
Yeah, and a little mishmash of like this movie, that one, and yeah.
It's hard. We got 3 different types of people who want to watch 3 different movies, so it's hard to come to like a consensus sometimes, you know? But
very much stuck in the middle style.
yeah.
Not to mention, you have the group who's suggesting movies left and right.
Uh-huh.
So it makes it a little bit,
We definitely have to start to pepper in some of their suggestions and not just be like, well, yeah, no, I like what you said, but we're going to go with our movies.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll put a little respect on your name, audience. I promise.
To be fair, wasn't American History X somebody's suggestion originally? Somebody else's suggestion?
It was received very well when it was put out in the open.
Yeah, so we were like, that's a perfect movie to start this
And
with.
that was my suggestion, by the way.
Oh, see? Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Not bad.
Eli with the contribution.
Oh, yeah.
Loving it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Eli.
Well, we're back, boys.
Yes, sir.
And you two, were privy to see an amazing film. Before we get into our film today, we want to let you guys just kind of talk shop on what was it that you just saw?
God.
A movie that I called a 9.9999
'Cause you'll never give
out
it
of
a 10.
because you'll never have a 10, a perfect movie. Zack Snyder's Justice League finally came out after 4 years.
Chills, thrills, and chills, and I thought it was a rumor for so long.
Yeah, how many people I've fought verbally that movie existed?
Yeah, I was one of them. I didn't believe you.
Yes, and as of Thursday night, it was completely disproved to the world that it didn't exist.
You got your vindication, and
I
I got
did.
the movie that I wanted from day one when Justice League came out. I love that it sounds like your name.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, sorry,
And
Josh.
ruined my soul. And so I just dug deep into the comics, DC Comics. So I'm a big geek nerd. The Stuck in the Middle audience will learn that about me. But the movie, I finally finished today. It took me 3 days because of work. 4-hour plus film. But I was literally, I had the chills and I wanted to cry. I felt so good about watching that movie.
And no spoilers. Everybody kind of knows it's broken up into chapters.
Everybody dies.
while you're watching the movie. The chapters helped a lot of people to be able to go, okay, I know I'm at the end of chapter 2. I'm going to pause it here, and I'm going to go do some shit.
It gave you nice breaks to stop at kind of thing.
if you
That's
wanted
exactly
to.
as I used it.
If you wanted to. I know Zack in an interview a couple days before it released, he was like, if you really want a good place to stop, stretch, and then come back and finish it up, it was like after chapter 4. He's like, that's like a 2-hour, when you're 2 hours into it, there's a great place to stop right there, relax, go have dinner, do whatever you got to do, and then come back to it and just buckle in, because the rest of it's just 100 miles an hour.
It was such a piece of art. And originally, we were going to... We went around the table about movies today. We were originally Superman, and then we're going to introduce Josh to Justice League Snyder Cut.
As people who are on the Facebook page know,
They
everything keeps getting switched.
Yeah.
We were like Man of Steel, and then we were like, fuck it, let's just do Justice League. And then I posted Justice League, and now we're back
It's an
on Man of
honest
Steel.
extension of how Stuck in the Middle is.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah. Because I want, and in all honesty, I was against just jumping to Justice League for Josh.
I know.
Right.
I know.
because there's so much that you have to know before you walk into that.
I was like, nah, we could fill him in on some minor blanks.
No,
I always
don't
thought,
wanna fill anybody
like,
in.
when you guys were talking about the Snyder cut, I'm like, why did he get cut from the film? Like, I don't understand who Snyder and
A
why
true
he got
layman
cut.
we have.
Yes.
Yes.
But that's good though.
You said Gaiman wrong. No, I'm joking. Yeah, I didn't know, and then I finally started to realize that it was Zack Snyder who did Dawn of the Dead, so I'm pumped up for that. I really liked that. And then The Watchmen, I liked the dark take on the whole thing, so I'm definitely pumped. But I'm going in,
Blind.
with
You're
like a
newborn
virgin.
babe.
The whole Snyderverse you're blind to. So, and that, honestly, that's one of the things that really hyped me up about you seeing all this is you didn't really have a dog in this fight, but the other day you're like, guys, I need to see this fucking movie.
Yeah.
Everyone was talking about how like amazing it is, and I'm like, I want to see it now. Kind of want to see it.
I was reluctant to be like, all right, I just watched it yesterday. Oh,
Sorry.
hey, amateur hour over here.
Wow.
It's okay.
I can't believe I just did that.
That's okay. I'm glad it happened now.
Wow.
Are you gonna call me? Okay.
Make sure mine's off.
But it kind of circled back to, let's start from the beginning.
Yeah.
So here we are with Superman, Man of Steel.
Introducing Josh to the world of Snyder superheroes.
Yeah.
Taken from the viewpoint of these are gods. These aren't just superheroes.
Gods amongst men, yes.
Gods amongst men, huh?
Now to help you think of how Superman was originally created, the creator Siegel and Schuster, they were immigrants from a different country. So when they came here, they wanted to write this story about this super immigrant and to show people that, hey, immigrants can do more than just be a shit on all the day.
Right.
You know, they're more than just work labor or anything like that. You should accept them because they can contribute greatly to the society. That was the whole preface of Superman.
Yeah. More than that, it shows you more in depth about Superman than just being a Superman.
Yeah.
I always do find that there's a lot comics kind of play on what's going on at the time, and they kind of pick apart society, so to speak, in a more malleable, digestible way. So it's always funny to see, how I never thought of Superman as an immigrant.
Yeah.
Because all I know is, build the wall. No Superman's here.
Well, you should keep that in your mind because
Build the wall?
as you'll
Yeah,
see,
apparently.
as you'll see, like the take on it with Zack now reflects a lot of how some people look at immigrants today and how politicized a guy like Superman would be in this world.
Right now, the immigration situation, I talked a little bit about it on the other show. It's polarizing, but this will serve as a good tie-in.
Yeah.
I thought District 9 did a really good take on literally illegal aliens.
Great
Like,
social commentary film, yes.
Because it's really good. So I'm pumped for this. I'm pumped to see some Superman. I don't even think I saw
Christopher Reeve. Did you ever see the classic
old
Superman?
what before or after the paraplegic incident?
Oh my God!
Yeah.
He wasn't so super after the horse.
He was just mad.
I hate you guys. I watched his book after he had the
You
accident.
watched his book?
I said I watched.
Eli's
Whatever.
special.
I read his book. Hey, you said malleable. That's my word. I patented it.
We know he didn't write it.
Yeah.
He
but
couldn't even operate a typewriter.
anyway,
But
it was
what's-
a beautiful book.
What's the Superman movie that came out before the Superman? That's kind of shot like a old school kind of vibe. It looks older.
Superman Returns.
Superman Returns. Okay, I didn't even see that one.
with
so.
Kevin Spacey, that awful
Yeah.
garbage
Yeah.
movie?
So is this Superman, the movie that we're gonna watch today? Is it kind of like not an origin story, but you have his kind of come ups in it, or
You see that, but you see it in more reflection. Because like a lot of those movies, every time they told the Superman story, you'd see him crash land on Earth,
The
growing
last son of a
up,
dying planet.
and then
blah,
like
blah,
the
blah.
last half hour of a Superman movie was him being
Supermaning.
Superman, and for some reason, the second he becomes Superman, he just understands how to do everything.
Yeah, no, this is much more of him.
This is my first day.
learning his place and finding it within the world and embracing and being accepted.
he's like, I can fly?
Yeah, that's literally one of my favorite parts of the whole fucking movie.
What's that green stuff over there? Let me ow!
He's got the bare basics.
Yeah,
we can
yeah.
work
I'm
with
good.
it.
I'm getting there. I can pick it up.
So it's the color green is what's his weakness. Right?
Yeah, it's the color.
It's my weakness too, my friend.
Okay, true.
Brings me to my
Patrick's Day
knees.
must have really fucked you up there.
Man, I can't tell you.
All right, so let's have some kryptonite and let's break
Let's,
into the film.
Let's go rock and roll, son.
Sounds like a plan, guys. And we're gonna do a little jump cut, and we'll be back in now. Wow,
Whew.
That was.
that was a first for me.
Was
So,
it good?
Through a child's eyes, and only this is why it's so valuable that we
little
had
baby's eyes.
Yes, the newborn babe even shared a speculation, an observation that Brock and I, the king of geeks, didn't even see with all the times we've seen the movie, which was simply, wow, that was the origin of Clark Kent at the very end. That we
Not
thought.
Superman.
Yeah, we were watching Superman the entire time. So, wow, thank
The
you.
origin of the origin story of Clark Kent.
Yep.
It was nice and action packed. Like one of the first things I wrote down for notes, and I'll let Brock do the whole
Yeah,
the
the
whole
sequence
breakdown,
thing.
the sequence
Yeah.
thing.
Go on, do what
But
we
like,
do.
I realize like I have certain tastes, right? Especially like when it comes to games and movies, and I do normally like my movies, like my games, like a foot dipped in reality. I'm not a big fantasy,
Like
I don't-
over the top.
yeah, like over the top stuff. And the way Zack Snyder plans his CGI scenes out, especially like some of the fight scenes. Like it really turned me around, especially for the like, you know, I'm not necessarily a big fan of Superman. I'm not a big comic book person, but from a movie, I enjoyed the movie. You know, like you got, you know, watching it with you guys too kind of helped spill in a few things that I'm not, you know, I'm unaware of, but overall, really fucking good movie.
Yeah.
I was nervous about you not liking it as much as Brock and I, but
Because then going forward, we would have been like, oh, fuck, this is going to be a trudge.
yeah,
Which would have been funny too, you
but
know.
I'm glad things have worked out the way they did, where we circled back to the original plan, which
Yeah.
was introduce you from the first film.
Because
Right.
if you would have had questions now,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
questions you would have had during Zack Snyder's Justice
You would
League
have
the
been
first
lost
For a
You-
full 4
you'd
hours.
be
Yeah,
like,
you would have just been
wow,
Who
but
the
what?
fuck is that
Yeah.
guy? Why is that thing important?
Movie look cool. Josh don't know.
That's exactly what you would have been doing.
Now I'm inclined to. Now I want to catch up. I have not seen Wonder Woman 2 because I heard it was shitty. I know it's not a part of Snyderverse,
It's
but
not enjoyable. I mean, it's dumb enjoyable.
okay.
It's not
But like
a good movie.
only because Snyderverse is tied in some way loosely. That's
Loosely.
the only reason I'm gonna fucking look.
Yeah, you can see the so Wonder Woman 1, Zack Snyder was a active producer on
Yeah.
that movie. So you had his flair was in there. You could taste the Zack Snyderness of it. In part 2, that's all gone. It's all Jeff Johns
Yeah.
producing, and he screws up a lot of things.
Yep. That's what I hear.
So
Zack Snyder is the man for fucking these types of movies. Apparently, like now I really want to watch Batman vs Superman. I'm gonna hold out for Justice League. I don't know if we'll figure out something, or
Yeah.
should I at the very least watch the Justice League?
I don't.
Is that gonna?
that might fuck up your opinion.
I don't
That's the only
even
reason.
want him to.
No,
But
I
like,
want him to at least afterwards. I want him to
after,
watch.
yeah, you watch that after you watch the good one, the one we were meant
Because
to
I
get.
think your anger might actually be greater if you watch Justice League first.
What are they doing?
Yeah, like what? Because it's not just that it's a bad movie; it's a completely
it's a
huge tonal shift.
uh-huh.
Imagine you watch that movie, you watch a movie that goes even darker, and then you basically watch a happy Marvel movie.
Yeah, no. With
Yeah, that's
stupid
exactly what
like
it is.
jibs and jibes here with like just little like superhero like
Yeah.
yay chum.
Yeah.
Like it's just that bad.
Yeah, like it's just like friendly banter back and
Yes.
forth, like little quips.
Very out of
Yes.
place with the backdrop of like possibly end of the world, but hey, I got a time for this booyah joke.
That's
you know?
exactly what it
Captain
is.
America, or should I call you Private America?
Yeah, exactly. Like dumb,
You're not too talented.
dumbass jokes like that.
So all right, opening scene.
The opening scene. So when you watch this, one of the things that not any Superman movie has done ever has let you live on Krypton, and
See, that's where that is kind of where I was establishing that first kind of, it was real. I was like, okay, now we're already out of reality. Like there's fucking dragons flying around. And I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing, guys?
I'm glad that though. Like, I mean, okay, so given that, because now you're more of a fan, but
now you have the hindsight of the whole film.
do you feel that it's properly in place? You know,
With
now
Krypton.
that you're
So I will still stand by that. I think that's where, if it wasn't for like how it was filmed, and like I think like that stuff I could almost kind of care less about. Like I'm glad it's there. It made like how the movie was presented, it made me care. Normally I'm like, that's where comics lose me. It's like,
Yes.
I was born on a faraway planet with aliens, and I'm just like, oh, it's
And I think a lot of that Krypton setup is all for not many other reasons beyond Zod. You have to know how dedicated Zod is to this thing.
that and Kal-El's father.
Yeah, Jor-El, how much he cared about, like, trying to get these people to go along with his plan to send Kal-El, Superman.
So let's look at some of the things that are, we identified to this day in our life, right?
Yeah.
So we have the original intention of Superman, as we mentioned prior to watching it, was an immigrant.
the immigrant story.
An immigrant. So we have parents that want to send their child to a better
place,
world, a better
because
place.
Their place is just falling the fuck apart.
It's literally there's an insurrection.
Yeah. Well, if you look at it, like, so originally it would have been World War II-ish, early World War II, when, you know, they were coming over here, like Siegel and Schuster. Like, shit already started going really bad over there. So, I mean, that's literally Jewish families getting their families here
with hope.
With hope.
And that is the biggest thing. The S, for those of you that aren't nerds, it just means hope.
In Kryptonian or whatever. And that's essentially what it was. It was, hey, I don't care if we don't make it there. We're sending our kids there for a better life.
Correct.
And and the funniest part is before he sent, he's like, these are seemingly intelligent people.
Yeah.
So we'll just send
I like
them there.
that quick jab, but it's so, you know.
But it's true.
It's grounded in total truth.
And, you know, while I don't like over-the-top overt messages of, you know, things shoehorned into movies that I watch, the subtlety of which he injects this stuff is a strength of Zack's. So, end of the world, because they treated their world like shit.
They used
all their natural resources were gone.
Yeah, they completely overused or overindulged. They destroyed their own world
to the point where they were mining the core of their planet,
and they were ignoring the scientists, Jor-El.
Yeah. They were completely.
You can find a lot of parallels into our reality, our world.
Yes, and one of the things that, if I remember correctly, Zod was saying was, you're sitting here debating all day about what to do, but you never do anything.
Right. That reminded me of the House and the Senate.
Yes.
And, I mean, that reigns so true to this day.
Yeah. I think that's a problem that we'll always see in the world. A lot of talk, not a lot of action.
Boom, boom goes the dynamite.
So after they send Kal-El, Superman, to Earth, they stop Zod on Krypton. He gets sentenced to basically a
purgatory.
Purgatory, yeah, that's essentially called the Phantom Zone. So they go there. Krypton explodes. Literally, the next thing it cuts to is a boat,
an oil rig, right?
No,
that was
this establishes you know, Clark as an adult. He's working, basically doing the deadliest catch.
Yes.
Out there.
And this movie came out in 2013.
2013.
Which,
so it was like one of those things like, all right, that's a job he would do back then.
Going crabbing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And
I wanted to like throw out there, like, I always like how, like, in a superhero movie, like when it goes to the real world, like it's always, like they always go to like that average Joe scene, you know, like, you know, just like someone struggling at their job, or just like some establishing average Joe, you know, it just goes, you know, it's always funny how it does that, and like they pick the perfect time, you know, they pick the crabbers,
they pick and those are the most like blue collar people you could possibly pick.
And he says like 2013, right? That's
that's
right.
Beginning
on par.
of Deadliest Catch, like that whole phenomenon at the time.
Well played.
That it starts and there's a fire on an oil rig, which, if I could be wrong about this, what was that oil rig that exploded?
What was it?
Right. I was going to say that wasn't the Exxon or the other one.
Was that like 2010? They made a movie about it with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, wasn't that the Exxon Valdez, or my?
No, that's a oil tanker. This was a oil rig that blew up in the ocean, and
I'll look it up.
I think that might have been just before this movie was filmed and all that. So, I mean, use what's there.
Deepwater Horizon.
Yes, Deepwater Horizon. So that was perfect right there for it. It's something we already knew, we've experienced before. So what would you do if a Superman was there? He would help. He would help without question. So he goes there.
But he's not even Superman yet.
No, but he has the strength. He has the things like that.
I have a question. How did nobody realize, like obviously he's saved people before, like he's like a little older in this beginning scene, or, you know, when it goes to reality, he's I don't know how old he is, because he kind of looked the same when Kevin Costner was there.
23.
Right, 23. So, you know, in 23 years, like, all the people he's saved, like, even that, you know, like the fat tubby kid.
Yeah, the bully that called him Dick Splash.
Like the school bus kind of knew, like, hey, we kind of fell and we're just kind of up on the grass now. Like,
yeah, but remember, they tried to call it out as Providence and something religious.
So quickly, like the mother of the bully was talking some very scary shit to
Yeah.
me, and we know why I consider it
Yeah.
as such. Oh my God, it's nothing short.
religious.
It's Jesus.
Yeah.
This is providence. You have the second coming of Christ.
Right.
And then the Father takes.
But that was
an
just
important
one
moment.
example. Like I'm sure he saved others,
well,
and how did nobody else be like,
he
whoa,
stayed on
wow,
the
it was
move.
crazy.
Yeah, so every time something like that would happen, he would
Ditch.
immediately quit the
Gone.
job and gone.
Gotcha.
And later he even says something when Lois Lane's like, "What if I expose this to the world?" I was like,
I'll just disappear.
I can
Gotcha.
do that, you know.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I
so
can't
he
fly.
saves
You
4.
beat my logic.
He's between 4 and 8 oil rig guys. You know, the oil rig starts to topple over while they're getting on a helicopter, and he holds it up as hard as he can. You know, with that
Amazing
cluster-
shot of his unburnt, unsinged chest hairs as he.
Yeah.
and facial hair. Remember, he had a beard.
Yeah,
Everything
yeah.
just stays fine.
And
no burnt hair smell.
I found it necessary to explain to Josh, like, oh, just to let you know, like, even his hair is super.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah, he
like,
told
in
me
the
about his
comics,
chest hair
He has to
strength.
shave with his laser vision.
in his
a
comic,
mirror.
and this is like Golden Age era, they have, like, a single strand of his hair, and they use it to, like, hold up a huge boulder just to
Yeah.
show you. So, yeah.
Fantastic. That's great.
Everything.
That's great.
So his pubes could, like, destroy you.
So he is not manscaping whatsoever. He's
No.
not shaving, but he never grows a beard. though.
I mean, now we'll delve into like realm of impossibility. Like, how the fuck does he shave? Maybe he just lasers shit. Who
Yeah,
knows?
yeah, that's what they've always said. Is he took a mirror and like uses his laser vision, bounces it, and cuts his.
How
hair.
come we don't see that in the movie?
Because that's just like
I want to see him trim his pubes with a laser eyes and a mirror.
Lois, I'm giving myself Brazilian tonight.
Lois, hold the mirror. Hold the mirror. Yeah. And then so
That's
right
the next movie.
after
Awesome.
he saves those people and the whole oil rig collapses, he's in the water, just going, fuck, like chilling.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, that was a good workout.
That took a little. I mean, the whole thing was collapsing over, and he was just sitting there, like
Yeah.
holding it up. Yeah. And then he's in the water like Leo DiCaprio in Titanic, kind of floating to the bottom.
Only
you know?
very well and alive.
Yeah. Not cold either.
And yeah, no.
Doesn't got some bitch nagging him.
It
Yes.
goes back to what would you say, 3rd grade, 4th grade?
Yeah, I'd say just about one of the two.
Where he first starts getting the moments of his abilities. So he's able to see through things. He's able to hear shit. Like he's looking at his teacher and it's like muscular system, skeletal system, heartbeat.
Heart literally beating.
Yeah, and it's freaking him out as it would
I mean,
anybody.
if it were me, I'm like, oh shit, another flashback. But he was like, oh crap,
And
I'm freaking out, man.
so the teacher's like, "You okay?" And he runs out of the room and uses his X-ray vision to find an empty room.
Yep.
To his credit, he finds a broom closet, sits in there, while all the kids, for some reason,
Strangely, are like really interested in. Well, I mean, a kid
That's
freaks
what would
out. It's
happen.
not that crazy.
yeah.
No, so
They would all. I mean, the teacher probably gathered them because remember, the teacher's not just going to leave the kids in the classroom. God knows. What
right,
can
yeah,
happen.
yeah. A responsible teacher,
So you gather them into the hallway.
and he hears a freak, outcast.
All the little whispers, all the stuff that we can't hear that people say.
That means he
about
heard
us.
his parents boning, dude.
Oh, you know how many times? Damn, I never put that
never
one
thought
into.
about that one
Stop
before.
ruining my childhood.
Terrible. And so the one
What's
of the
his dad's name?
Joe.
Give it to me, Joe. He's just, I'm trying to sleep.
No, it's Jonathan.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of
How
Clark's middle
dare
name.
you.
I'm thinking of Clark's middle name.
Well, at least I said Joe, and I didn't ruin it for you. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? So-
no, and I mean, I'll never forget this thought in my life.
Yeah.
So, thank
he
you.
heard it for sure. He
yeah,
heard it.
100%.
But he learned through that. He learned to hone his skills by
Well,
like
I
not
think
hearing his parents fuck.
I think there was a
Yeah.
very important part when Martha comes to the school,
Yeah.
and it's just one-on-one them talking. He's like, just focus in on my voice.
Yes, drown everything else out.
Which now that I always have these epiphanies while doing this show, comes into play later. Why his mother, while she's in trouble, he can hear her at any place in the world, wherever
Yes.
he's at. He's just like, "Mom's in trouble, gotta go."
Yep.
Oh, that at the end there, right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So they hug, whatnot. He comes out of the broom closet or whatnot.
What
And
was it he said? The world's too
the
big.
world's too big, and she's like, "Make it smaller.
Yep.
Make it smaller, and just follow my voice. Come to my voice."
I feel like that's ill advice.
make
Just
the world
make it smaller. What does that mean? Kill people. I mean, he kind of did that, right? Let's level some things.
Yeah, let's level some shit.
Yeah.
I think like absolutely appropriate for the child.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And then it skips to another flashback. He's probably in early high school or late middle school, where he's on a bus. He's getting shit talked by the fat kid with the red hair. Called him Dick Splash.
Oh, the bus scene.
Yeah.
Okay.
and tire blows. The bus goes off a bridge into the water.
Right after he says "dick splash," and then he splashes into the water.
That was fucking funny.
I never really noticed how accurate that was, but
Yeah, I feel like nothing is a coincidence with Zack Snyder now.
No,
he's learning.
dude,
He knows
Pay
Snyder.
attention to every little detail because it all matters.
Everything has meaning.
So they go into the water, and while all the other kids are worried about drowning, Clark gets out of the back of the bus, picking the bus up, but he gets the bus out of the water.
He lifts it. He pushes it up, and Lana turns around. Lana being his first best friend in the comics.
Sees him at the back of the bus like, was that you? He's like,
he's literally holding the bus up, and he's like, yeah, that's probably me.
Does anything happen to Lana?
Oh, there's a big story with them in the comics, but
would you imagine you're Lana's boyfriend and she used to have the hots for Superman, dude? You're like, you gotta be kidding. How big is his dick? How big is his dick?
Super big.
Super.
Yeah.
He has super restraint, so I'm just saying.
He compensates.
I want to share this with Brock because he's not seen this comic book yet. Year One Superman, where Frank Miller writes it.
Yeah.
Lana and Clark, as a boy, they become boyfriend and girlfriend.
Well, they have that in the Superman and Lois TV show.
Not my thing, but actually, I've heard good things.
It's good.
There is an amazing scene where he gets so overly excited. His heat vision sets the place on fire. Number one, and secondly, after he dispenses some bullies that were gonna beat her up, he spanks it in the bushes.
I really thought that's what.
Yeah, in the Frank Miller Year One Superman comic, I own it.
Like what does it say? Like how does it?
Oh, he words it like Frank Miller's
flap,
prose.
flap, flap.
No.
Yeah,
Frank Miller's prose is important.
I'm coming.
It just says, and then he goes into the bushes to take a piss, and. You see him just all worked up.
Wait, does it say take a piss?
It says take a piss, but we know he's not pissing. With Frank Miller, you're dealing with. So
I just didn't know if you had a dirty mind.
No, I just want to share that with Brock, and I want to lend you so many books, but okay.
So he saves that, and then he does something. The guy who just called him Dick Splash, he goes back and saves him specifically out of the water.
Is it specifically or just because when he gets the bus up, he notices he's still not there?
Yeah, I think it's just maybe he hears him.
He was gonna
drowning.
He was gonna save everybody. I mean, that's Superman. Even if you were a piece of shit to him, so he was just being Superman and happened to be the bully.
Yep, 100%. And then, so this is where the point of contention comes with certain people. Or at least originally, a lot of people I think have turned the corner on this. The next thing you see is the family of the people that were in the bus were like, "Oh my God, do you know what Clark did? This is Providence. He's Jesus-like.
His second coming, almost making a Jesus-like
when they
figure.
say that, the best part is Jonathan and Martha are kind of like laughing about it, that's not what it is. Relax.
They're like, yeah, I'm sure it seemed that way in the moment. Yeah.
I'm sure you guys were in a bad, tragic accident. You probably just missaw something.
They effectively stopped a cult from building up then and there.
That's exactly what it was.
And that was very important where Jonathan Kent decides to take Clark out and tell him where they have a very interesting conversation that was contentious as well.
Yeah. So this was the part that was contentious. He goes outside to talk to Clark, who's sitting on the back of a truck.
Yep.
And
I couldn't just let them die.
He's just like, man, you can't just show this to everybody. The world isn't ready to see this yet. And he's like, what do you want me to do? Just let him die? I couldn't do that. And he goes, maybe. No, I don't know what the answer is. And, you got to understand, probably at that point, he wouldn't know what the answer is.
And he did not. And he was being very candid about that. But it made me think of as a father to his son.
Yeah.
He's really looking out for the best interest of his son and the bigger impact.
Yeah.
Or the father's looking out for the best interest of himself because he doesn't know then how to help his son with this. So the best way to do it is just to tell him, just ignore it because I'm not ready for this. Is it more about, the son or the father?
Yeah, I think it could be all
These
of it.
are all honest takes on it.
And remember, later, Martha goes, if you came out, they would take you from us.
Yep. And also, yes, essentially,
Yeah,
we
would.
know how our government would work if we had a Superman figure.
I saw Stranger Things. What's her name?
There you
011?
go.
I've seen
11.
her, yeah.
Yeah.
And so up to this point, Clark doesn't know what his lineage is. For some reason, he just thinks, I have these abilities.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. And so He takes him to the woodshed and shows him the ship he crashed in.
Yeah, they just kept that spaceship
underneath
just chilling. Yeah.
underneath the barn, because I guess a lot of barns have crawl
Not one
spaces.
Christmas did he go looking for a Nintendo. Like, oh, what the fuck? Yeah, no, but understood. Yes.
I just thought about this, or the X-ray vision, he didn't see it.
Yeah.
But I guess if he's not looking for it,
Bear in mind, there's some liberties with, for the sake of the story. But yeah, let's just assume not looking for it.
yeah, exactly. So cut back to modern day again, and he's working another job at a restaurant. It kind of looks like he's either a bar back or a bus boy.
He's working the 9-to-5 life right there.
Yeah.
Looking miserable.
Making money, doing what he can to, get to where he's trying to go. And so a guy starts harassing a waitress.
Yeah.
And Clark, being the nice guy, comes like, hey, man, stop fucking
The
doing
guy
that.
smacked her ass, actually. Yeah. And he's like, easy, fella.
Hey, stop being an asshole. And then he dumps the whole beer on his head, which is honestly a waste of money.
Yeah.
And then, in my mind, that is the first show of
Restraint,
which is a power that nobody talks about in Superman.
Mm.
He punches regular dudes, and they
dead.
could. If he wanted to, they could just explode into dust.
Yep.
And then this guy in the bar,
I love that
it's
scene.
one of the favorite things I've ever seen. Tries to push him, and instead of Superman moving, he moves. He gets backed up about 2 or 3 feet. And I even heard Josh giggle at that whenever it happened.
It was funny to watch.
He shoved himself backwards.
Exactly. The immovable object, and dude was like, what the fuck?
A very movable object.
That did not go as planned at all.
And then we got to see some of Superman's passive-aggressive ways.
Yep. As he's walking out, the guy throws a beer and he's like, here's your tip, and throws the beer can at the back of his head.
That might have been the straw that broke Camel's back.
Yeah, I don't think he was going to do anything until that point.
Yeah.
So the guy comes out later, I'm going to assume shit-faced. So he prevented a drunk driving accident. So he saved him, too.
Yeah.
And, his truck was upside down, smashed on
Upside down and inside out and wrapped around.
smashed on a
And
light pole.
nobody saw it, heard it, nothing. This guy gets away with everything. Everyone's like, dude, what was that?
If you want me to get in full fantasy speculation because of me and my comics, he could have taken the whole fucking truck, lifted it up into the air,
Just dropped the
mangled
But
it, and
remember, he didn't know he could fly at that point.
Oh damn! Fine.
Firebomb
Poo on you.
So next,
Or maybe that's when he figured it out. We just didn't know it, right?
Yeah, there you
that
go.
would be really funny. He
All right.
figured he could jump really high right then.
Yeah.
He just took a big leap and was like,
You know what? Let me try something.
okay, thank you. You proved my point.
So the next thing we see is Lois Lane shows up on this. It's like Antarctica,
Hot.
or North Pole, or
It's
something.
hot in Antarctica or North Pole or something.
And so these stories are all starting to come together because right behind Lois Lane, taking her baggage, is Clark. He's got another job. His third job in this movie in 10, 15 minutes. So he grabs her luggage and whatnot.
You mentioned something interesting about each job, too, getting progressively
closer to cold
closer
area.
north.
and
North.
the temperature too. Yeah, getting colder.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that.
Well, so the reason why is I guess Clark had heard something about this
Another ship.
about something being found
Yes.
in the Arctic.
Uh-huh.
So he goes there, and lo and behold, he knows that there's something, because I'm assuming with his X-ray vision, that is not supposed to be there. It's been there 18,000 years. And
Stumbles upon the future fortress of solitude.
now here's where the stories start intertwining. Lois only took this story because she's following the...
We know it's a Hollywood movie because we had an honest journalist.
Yeah, well, that too. Yeah. She's following the story of this.
That's my
thing
line.
That's found.
That's my line.
You stole his shit.
I did.
Fucking thiefed it.
Fucking
Yeah.
goddamn it.
You son of a bitch.
I'm in see it.
So he
You
goes
look
to
like
this.
him.
Damn it.
He goes to the ship, and Lois has been tracking him. Takes a picture with a camera, admittedly not that great. But
We're going to shit on Nikon right now.
no, I don't mind a Nikon. Just that one's like the Squire of the Nikon world. And for some reason gets a picture of him at night at a far ass distance.
But you applauded it because they didn't do the
it didn't do the movie magic thing where they zoom in and the picture just gets crystal clear.
the facial cleanup. She was like, I'm gonna find you, mystery man.
Yeah, no.
Even though my camera, like she even mentioned, like my camera's not top quality, so we can't do the Hollywood magic. Like, wow, that's really on the nose.
You saw a lot of product placement with that Nikon shit.
Yeah, they literally
IHOP.
shoved it right in the middle of the frame.
Yeah.
It's weird to have IHOP and Superman. You know, like isn't that
Yeah.
Are we trying to be a little more healthy?
House of Pancakes, Superman,
Well, I mean,
American Way.
The redhead fat guy did
Listen,
work there.
not only is kryptonite, but pancakes. That's his second biggest weakness.
Oh, is that what?
Yeah,
Okay.
Superman's. Yeah.
Okay. Now
So-
we know.
Superman discovers that this is an old Kryptonian ship.
Yeah.
Gets in there, and the ship actually tries to have self-defense mechanisms against him. He fights it, installs this little chip that he got from his
Looks like a badass doing it.
from his birth ship or whatever.
You mentioned the dead body earlier, remember?
Which
There was a dead body in that ship, and you mentioned
no, that
something-
comes up. That comes
Oh,
up.
okay, because I have a question about that.
Yeah. So they, Clark's discovering, he sees this person. He starts following this person.
Yeah. Shut up.
Lois Lane
He's just telling the story. We're just
winds
in the
up
way.
I know.
getting into the ship. And, well, the ship did what it did to Clark, which was gets to self-defense mode. She is a journalist, tries to take a picture.
Noticed a non-Kryptonian DNA, a flash. There's like threat.
Yeah,
and
shoots her right, I'm going to say in the kidney. It's just what I'm going to assume. And even though it killed Jor-El earlier, she was pretty okay with it overall. So
Equal rights, am I right?
from saying
and
lasers.
Superman, first time like formally meeting Lois here.
Hello, this is magical. This is going to hurt.
He's like, I can do things that most people can't. And this is going to hurt a lot. So
Yeah.
he uses his laser eyes to cauterize the wound. She screams.
And at that moment, she knew she met the one.
I think she actually had a little
Oh, yeah.
something down there too.
for
Something was
sure.
tingling.
He
Something
kind of
was
looked down and,
definitely-
oh, I didn't mean to do that.
Think about how many times he's taken liberties with that little X-ray vision.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, he was a teenager.
Oh yeah,
Oh, man, that dude.
we're missing out. Like
He beat off like crazy with X-ray vision.
There was an actual Family Guy joke that made me laugh.
which one? Faster than a speeding bullet, or
No. He's
the
just
X-ray vision? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Seeing
He's
you
just-
naked.
like all these girls that Superman knows, they all get breast cancer and like, oh, we're gonna get exposed to radiation.
That's fucking awesome.
And he's like awkwardly like,
I don't know.
odd.
That is awesome.
They just get it sometimes. They get it right.
Yeah.
So Superman essentially drops her. Like, I'm gonna assume like he just opens the back door and kicks her the fuck out after he takes off with the ship. And
Yeah, I mean-
she's just literally on this patch of ice.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
She tries to sell the story of what happened to her newspaper, and
Perry White.
Perry White's like, "Get the fuck out of here! We're a legitimate news source.
We're
Nobody's
not
gonna
talking
believe
about
this."
aliens and shit right now. Are you crazy?
So what does she do? Just like any good journalist, she goes and shops it to the first rag she could get a hold of, which was like a blog.
The most androgynously like odd-looking blogger that's so stereotyped. Yeah,
Probably
appropriately so.
Probably a very true, legit portrayal of the media this time around.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looked like Rachel Maddow, only this was a male. I'm gonna get canceled for that.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah, right. So it goes back to Clark talking to, or it was kind of like a overdub for a while of Jor-El, holographed Jor-El, his
Yeah,
consciousness.
the AI. Yeah.
Talking to Clark about who he is, where they come from, tells him the whole story of how, they didn't listen to me and shit blew up. All I'm going to say is I told him so. And he exposes him to the suit, tells him what the symbol on the suit means.
Yes.
And then in the background, you can see these 4 beds, like sleeping chamber type things. One of them, there's somebody in there dead as fuck.
What is the story with that?
There's one that's open. The fan theory, and nobody's denying it, is that could be Kara.
Oh my God, no.
Kara Zor-El.
Okay, fuck it. I mean, I hope not, but okay.
Why not?
I don't know.
She was always here before he was.
Kara Zor-El is
Superman's cousin.
Yeah, she's Supergirl.
Yeah, Supergirl.
Yeah,
What's the father's name again?
Jor-El.
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 Yeah.
So does Hollow Jor-El, like, how does he? Is he like prevalent more often, or like
No,
that's
because he was pretty aware. It seemed like for him just being.
It is literally like with the
an echo.
Kryptonian technology.
It's so far advanced.
like nearly sentient. He is sentient.
Yeah.
Self-aware.
So
has
it's like
all the memories.
cyberpunk. I don't know if you guys are.
Yeah,
seeing
Yes,
basically. It's
exactly
like
that.
that, or It's like what Elon wants to do, like uploading your consciousness so you can live forever, technically.
Yeah, I talk about that all the time. No, Elon, I heard you. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And then probably the scene that, I don't care if you love this movie, you hate this movie, it's the scene that everybody just gets a smile out of and loves. The first flight of Superman.
And you can see like the jubilation in his face.
Yeah, so he does the, the homage, Todd can leap over a tall building in a single bound, and he does that and leaps over a mountain, and then he tries to fly.
It's kind of like he's starting off like like a lawnmower, like
Yeah. That's exactly what
his face shows pretty much exactly.
It's like a
that.
baby bird.
Yeah,
trying to figure out the flight thing, and crashes into a
minus the vomit.
Yeah, crashes into a mountain, destroys the mountain, and then
like that. Oops.
Yeah, and then finally learns how to fly. It's this epic scene. He's flying all over the place. He goes to all these countries, Africa.
That
he goes to
initial,
space.
the initial liftoff is a really it's a piece of art. That's Zack Snyder.
The
to his
iconic
credit.
push
and it
off.
and it shows you the power because when he lifts off, like the whole ground breaks below him.
You see the details.
This guy's very destructive. I really need to point that out. Everything's breaking around him.
It sounds like you would totally agree with Batman in the sequel.
Yes, absolutely. So
Batman's a normal guy, a little foot dipped in reality. Doesn't got any superpowers. He's just kind of a badass.
You are more of a Batman guy.
I'm definitely more of a Batman guy too.
I mean,
I always will be.
Yeah, fuck it.
He's just a normal guy.
I think, is it possible to love them both equally? That's where I'm at.
I don't know
Are you stuck in the middle of
I have more. Yes, I have more Batman comics than I do Superman, but I don't know anymore. All right, moving on.
So
you don't want to hear my
again.
voice.
It goes to Lois. It goes back to Lois trying to figure out who Clark is. So she tracks down all these jobs that we've seen him have.
Interaction where he's had to be Superman.
Yes, and they even point out, I don't know, something went crazy. He saved a kitten from a tree and then just disappeared. We never saw him again.
He had great chest hair.
Yeah, that was an exact quote actually. So she eventually winds up on the Clark farm, which is I congratulate Zack doing. They established earlier that she's a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist.
Yes.
She would be able to figure this out pretty quickly if she's an investigative journalist of that caliber. And within 30 minutes of this movie, she knows who Clark is.
Yeah.
That she's this person that she's looking for.
She shows up at Mama Bear's house.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm looking for your boy. Where's your boy at? Where's the flying man?
Or some porridge.
Clark is visiting his father's grave.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. Lois visits his
Jonathan
father's.
Yeah, that's where he's like.
But that's where she knew though. Like she had that like
she knew to go there.
Intuition.
But like she knew he showed up. Like she, that's where they kind of. I felt like that's the first time they kind of had that connection.
Yep.
Where she knew he was there without even doing anything.
Very celebrated instance that happens in many comics.
Yeah.
Like they're just aware of that
Right.
connection.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And she's basically like, I knew if I kicked over enough stones, you'd eventually turn up, dude. Like I'm at your place that you love, your home, essentially.
And I'm standing over your father's dead body.
Yeah. And then it cuts to
What happened? You ever seen Twister?
and then it cuts to that scene where him and his father are getting into an argument. And basically, he pulls the teenage shit like, "You're not my real dad," and fucking
A, Superman.
And Martha's like,
Was that the day when the tornado happened?
"Yeah, it was literally minutes before."
Oh my god!
Looks really bad in retrospect, doesn't it?
How do you feel now, Superman?
Piece of shit.
Yeah.
The Twister happens. And everybody on the highway starts to get to an overpass because I've actually heard that that's what a lot of people do if they're stuck out on Twitter.
I've seen a lot of videos of people doing that.
Yeah,
it's legit.
So
Jonathan
hands off a small kid to Clark to be like, get it back, and he's like, I'll go back. The dog's in the car.
They all book it from the car, and they're all like, "Fuck it, yeah." And I'm like, how come nobody's taking the dog?
That to his credit, Josh was like immediately, "What's the dog? Let's get the dog."
Right? Like, I know what's happening here. You're like, or it's gonna be like, it's either they're gonna use it to bring somebody back, or it's gonna be just a quick shot of it like hopping out the window, and we're not gonna hear anything else.
Or it could be one of those things, and this is how I've always took it, that people are always like, "Oh yeah, my dog is my child," until some shit really goes down, and then you're like, "Fuck the dog, I'm getting out of here."
I hope those people die.
But it then shows that like how much it is their child, you could say, because then he goes back for it. But
runs
it's like,
back for it, yes.
Right into danger, which shows you he didn't necessarily learn his bravery from Jor-El as a Kryptonian.
No, he learned it as an Earthling, as an American,
from his father.
Yeah, right.
Mr. Kent. So Mr. Kent,
So is that is the Twister a well-established departure
No.
for
No.
Ken in the
No.
comics? No.
Like,
No,
there's
this
no real well-established thing of what happens. Some of them, he dies.
There's
Some of them
many
he's still
different iterations,
alive.
man. There's no point in getting into it. Yeah.
No, but I was just saying that there's some alive, some dead, you know, things like that. So they go to, he goes to get the dog. A car falls on the car where the dog was. He gets the dog out, but his foot's trapped.
Yeah, he gets a little fracture or break.
Hits it again. He gets his foot released. He comes out. He's limping. There's no way he's going to make it back.
On time.
Now, Superman at this point, I keep calling him Superman, but he's not Superman at this point. Clark is like, I can go save him. And he's getting ready. He has this moment where he looks back at the people, looks at his dad, and he's getting ready to haul
do
ass.
it. Yep. And Daddy's like,
Kevin Costner.
yeah.
He puts his hand out.
Yep, Jonathan Kent.
Like, nope, son, the world is not ready. Don't do it. Don't expose yourself.
Now,
In the name
if you think
of love.
So I may
So a
be
lot of people-
torn up by a twister.
There you go.
don't like that because, again, he could have saved him. But and
They
I will
forget
say-
the implication.
Yes, but I will say this. That moment plays all the way into the future, all the way to Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Correct. Absolutely.
Interesting.
So he, obviously distraught that I could have saved him.
Yep.
But I didn't.
Yeah.
And you could see the pain in his face.
Yeah.
His other dad's dead. Now this dad is dead,
Mm-hmm.
and it fucks with him.
Sounds like, he feels he's a shitty son,
And
clearly.
So cuts back to Lois.
I don't know. Yeah, like Eli. I'm sorry to cut you up, but Eli were saying like, "No, we're gonna save you, idiot." I'm sorry. It's coming out now. Whether you like it or
would
not.
have done that.
Yeah.
Damn the fucking consequences with my father. But
Like, hey, sometimes the student becomes a teacher, dickhead, and this is a learning moment for
I
you.
would pull that entirely. But I understand like
I would make
the
it
father's
listen,
whole.
Every other time I've gotten away with it, now all of a sudden I won't get away with it. People are, I'd have been like, "What's that over there?" And everybody looked. I'd have done it real quick. Yeah.
Hey, look, another twister.
I'd come back all out of breath.
No. You have to watch your father die. Learn this lesson, son.
I know.
Well,
That's why I said I think he wanted to check out.
Yeah, no, low key, and I love like how the twister just like eloquently
Engulfs,
make them disappear
While
instead
it's
of
tearing
just
up everything
yes,
behind him.
instead of him being like, woo!
Yeah, no. Well, not even flying away, but just standing there and then just getting like hearing that sound of when you get hit by something, like, ugh!
Yeah.
all the wind gets knocked out of your body.
I would have received that well.
Flying cow.
Yeah.
So,
Another
okay.
cow. I think that's the same cow.
It loses the father there.
Earlier, Lois and Clark talk about exposing like his identity to the world, and Clark's like, "I can't do it. My father didn't want me to do
and
it."
he explains that story.
That
to him.
fodder gave us some fodder.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely some fodder. And so Lois goes back and she's like, "Hey, don't worry about that story I was writing. It's all bullshit. We're done."
And Perry's hugely
like-
paranoid. He's
Yeah,
like,
he's
what
like-
the fuck?
He's paranoid.
Yeah, he's paranoid. And then he's literally like, "Fine, you're suspended for 2 weeks
2 weeks,
without pay."
no
and she's
pay.
like, "Cool, awesome," and starts walking away. He's like,
All
"Fuck
right.
it, 3 weeks." And
Yeah.
she's like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "I'm just kidding." He's like, "I don't know why you dropped it."
But you made the right decision.
Yes, he's like, "But I
He
believe
knew something
you.
was up. Yeah.
But could you imagine if we ran this story and people found out that this person is real, like what that would mean in the world today?"
And that is a realistic fear. I think a person would have.
He knew something freaked her out though, because she just wanted to drop it out of
Well, yeah,
nowhere.
because
She's
she
known for
would
her
never
drive,
drop.
and
Yeah.
yes,
She would
yeah.
never drop a story like that, especially if she was so invested in it.
So I think that's why he was trying to rile her up a little bit with the "you're out for 2 weeks, 3 weeks."
Yeah,
give me a
exactly.
reaction.
She's just
Yeah.
like us and stuck in the middle.
Mhm.
We just won't give up.
You're fired for 2 weeks, Eli.
Fine, 3 weeks,
3 weeks.
dude.
Damn it.
Yay!
And that
Time
was
off.
and that's a big theme, like how people would react knowing,
They're first off that they're not alone, that he came from another world,
Yep.
and that there's somebody capable of doing
living
miraculous
above
like elements
among them for
Yes.
this long.
Right.
So the next thing they bring to is the introduction to General Swanwick.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like it's a quick it's not like a, hey, this guy's really fucking important.
What's wrong with General Swan?
We
yeah,
can't
we can't
tell
that
you
way.
yet.
Okay,
Damn it.
okay.
I'm pissed off.
But that's the guy who was like, maybe I know something about what the ship is doing.
Yeah. yes, which you'll get later.
You sound like you're getting it, little.
So they see Zod's ship come into Earth's general orbit, probably by Mars, I'm going to say.
Right after Perry White was like, yeah, drop it.
Yeah.
And then boom.
And then later that night, everybody's just chilling at the house watching, football, WWE. And then everybody's TV.
And then Keon got the air and
he's watching Vouch.
It started saying profit is theft. You have 24 hours. Sorry, that's a throwback. Sorry, Keon, buddy.
Okay, so somebody came on while I'm watching my program.
So yeah, I was saying, Josh, you have to please do. What would Trump do if that happened to him and interrupted his rally? Take it away, Trump.
Well, no, hold on. Let's set it up, and then he can go back.
Fine.
There's a reason for it.
Fuck
so
my
imagine,
idea.
People are watching, whether it be football, the presidential
You were in the spot.
speech or whatnot, and everything just goes fuzzy, and it says on the screen in every language,
You are not alone. Universal language, yeah.
You are not alone. You are not alone. You are not alone. And then Zod comes on almost like a presidential address, and he's like,
"It's China. They're writing stuff on our screen.
Build the wall because you got a guy that can leap over them."
And he goes and drops the fucking knowledge on the world. He's like, "Hey, one of us are around you. You guys have 24 hours to turn him into us,
Produce him,
or we will destroy this world." Which,
Yep.
spoilers, that was kind of their plan.
I didn't order Chinese food."
So, all right.
And the world doesn't know anything that this guy exists.
Oh, yeah. They're all like, but that's when Perry looks at Lois like, you bitch.
fucking-" and then she looks at like, "You motherfucker didn't let me run with the story."
What? I didn't do anything.
And then after he says, "You got 24 hours to turn him over to us," everybody's screen goes back to normal. So it's just like, and back to the Trump rally.
To your regularly scheduled programming. Trump.
But also too, you just can't. We just don't go back to normal after that.
No.
Like I was watching WWE, I can't go back to enjoying fake wrestling while I have to worry about some random fuckhead out of 360 million people. Is he going to turn himself in 24 hours? I can't relax.
No.
So what would Trump say?
What would he say?
What would he? I'm asking you.
I think he would be like,
No, but is this during a rally?
no, yeah, because his rally would be televised, and then imagine this thing hijacks it and then brings it back, and then he gets in his earpiece. "We're back on TV, Trump. I don't know what happened. We got hijacked."
By an alien
Yeah.
who's saying,
He'd be like, "I don't know who just did that. I think China is trying to hack us. Okay, but we're not gonna take it. We're America. Okay."
biggest interruption ever. Yeah, I can't do Trump, bro.
That's exactly what would happen, actually.
All right, I'm glad we got that.
So the next thing you see is they're all sitting, and fuckhead that Lois sold the
Blogger,
story to,
goddamn.
blogger fuckface is just like, "Oh yeah," he's having an interview. He's like, "Oh yeah, so
Lois Lane knows
who this fucking guy is. So go talk to her." And within seconds, her phone's ringing. The FBI is like hauling ass at her front door, and she's like, "Hey, I can't really talk right now." On
Literally,
the phone.
Brendan Dassey did a better job of keeping a secret than this guy did. He caved right away.
I'm sure they paid him like $100, and
Yeah.
that was it.
Or just, you know what? That dude was just a cunt, man.
Yeah,
Just
they did musician. You get exposure.
Exactly. I was gonna say they gave him the exposure. You get to go on TV.
Lois
promote
Lane
yourself.
knows who this guy is. Fuck
Yeah.
her. Like, it's
Yeah.
not me. I'm not gonna get.
I was gonna-
Lois did it.
I was gonna compare that blogger to a fan, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah. Don't go there.
An oscillating fan, or
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, the one with that chat. Anyway, moving
it's
on.
fine.
So there's Jonathan Kent gives him advice that
This is pre-tornado.
Yes. Well, no, this is post tornado because I think it was him hearing the advice for the first time by himself, which was there's gonna come a point where the world's gonna learn who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Now you are gonna eventually show the world who you are. Now you just got to decide what that person is, good or evil, because regardless of what that person is, it's a big deal.
Imagine if he just stripped off his clothes and went, "It's time to be fabulous."
Yeah. Like,
All right, anyway, sorry. No, I know.
He just did the party boy.
Superman is now choosing to show the world, expose himself.
Hi, my name's Clark Kent. Welcome to Jackass.
Super jackass. All right, so take us away.
Speaking of, sexually harassing people.
Yes, my favorite.
Clark decides to go to a church for some guidance, which was
Faja.
another point of contention for people when they watched this originally.
Look at the backdrop, the imagery. You have Jesus right behind him.
Clark was raised in Kansas.
Yep.
And it seemed like a pretty standard American religious go to church on Sunday type family. That's what the Kents have always seemed like to me.
And that father had some fire advice.
Yeah, exactly. And so he's asking the father, he's like, I don't know what to do here. And he's like, what do you think you should do? And he, again, I guess this goes to that whole the priest or whatever can't say what's said in confession.
Yes.
And he's just like, fucking Zod, man. He wants me to turn myself in. I don't know what to do. He's like, can you trust him? He's like, yeah, I don't know, but I don't know if I can trust any of you fuckheads either. Like,
and Clark does have Jesus on the window behind him too,
talking
while
to God.
Yeah,
you know,
that's pretty cool.
Which is, great symbolism in my head, in my mind, which is, something he's very good at. Zach's very good at showing. He's like,
storytelling with visuals.
I'm going to show you.
Did you find the scene immediately after where the father went into the private room with the little boys a little out of place?
That was a little weird. I thought that was
wait. What movie did you watch?
we were all watching the same thing. It was just really subliminal.
No. We watched Supermen.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, that's right.
That was a different film.
all right.
So the next thing, Superman shows up to the world. He's in the middle of the salt flat desert. We all kind of know. Everybody kind of knows.
Beautiful imagery.
Him flying with the military just like, well, this fucking guy's here.
Like, yeah, it really looked like the military was like shushing him forward, like, go, get out of here.
Get going.
Yeah, and they're kind of hiding behind like their tanks and stuff.
And so they do what anybody would do to basically a god with unlimited strength. They put him in handcuffs.
Yeah.
And they bring him to a interrogation room with a reporter, which that was always something that was kind of weird to me. I was like, wouldn't you have
somebody else?
Yeah, because they're so nervous. Like they were shushing him forward with the military. They're like, you know him? I'm not going in there. You go in there. I'm not going in there.
There was that moment like, you could probably be contaminated of all these cells.
He's like, I've been here 33 years,
buddy.
I love when he stands up and just separates his arms.
so naturally.
Lois actually points out to him, he's like, you let him handcuff you? He's like, whatever makes him feel fucking
cool. I love, and Henry Cavill, just great Superman.
General Swanwick pushes back, or no, it's the nerdy dude that was behind him. He's just like, I don't, what is your intentions with all this?
Yeah.
And Superman's like, all right, motherfuckers, let's put our cards on the table. Stand up and just breaks the handcuffs
Yeah.
easily. Like and it's not like he's like breaking them like, he just kind of puts them by his side. And you
simply,
hear, tink.
Very no effort.
Everybody in the room besides General Swanwick jumps back. Like, holy shit, this dude is fucking terrifying. For some reason, our handcuffs, him breaking that scares us. But not all the other shit he's done.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, he flew down to the ground.
But for some reason,
we have him in handcuffs, though. He's safe. He's not doing nothing. Well, Brian Regan.
You can't fly if you have handcuffs on.
And so he's like, look, man, you should trust me. I'm not here to hurt you. I will turn myself in to these guys. Let's just go do this. So they return back to the salt flats.
It'd be hard to trust him. I'm not going to lie. Wouldn't it be hard to trust him if you're the military?
Really It'd be hard to trust him if me as a normal guy, I'd be like, what if this dude loses his fucking mind one day?
Right.
You sound like Batman.
But it's straight. That's exactly what I would think. So they're back at the salt flats. They giving Superman up. And what's her name?
Kiara, or whatever. Who's amazingly hot and awesome.
She comes down, takes Superman, and then she goes, "Hey, oh yeah, my boss,
Feora,
yes, Fiora's like, I want that chick too. She's got to come." And
then you see the military's whole body language shift. Like, oh, you said the alien. You didn't say one of ours.
You didn't say one of
which
ours,
speaks to the tribalism that's still very prevalent.
It also speaks to what Jonathan Kent said.
Yeah, that they won't accept you.
They won't recognize you as one of them.
Right.
Even though you've been here 33 years.
Grew up in
you
Kansas.
are not a human to them.
That's right.
And
unless you have a MAGA hat on.
It's 2013. That didn't exist yet.
Yeah.
So
foreshadowing.
They put this little mask on Lois and whiz her away into the ship. Clark's having a hard time breathing.
Yes.
In the Kryptonian atmosphere.
Coughs up a little blood.
Yep. Weakens him completely, turns him essentially human or Kryptonian.
First time he's seen his own blood.
Mm-hmm. And they start trying to question him about a codex that they had. They're like, what the fuck is a codex?
Yeah, they had that little vision scene where he's kind of like laying down in that, and what's his face is talking
Zod
to him. Zod is talking to him. Yeah.
Zod is talking to him through a vision.
Kind of a hard sell with the imagery.
Yeah. Not a good sell, not a good salesman on Zod's part, but he's basically states his whole mission, which is to use the ship that
That has all the Kryptonian database and harvests crops.
Yep, and because people are born in the Kryptonian society, it's almost like a communist society where your job is picked for you the second.
And you're literally bred for that job.
Yeah, you're bred a la like Matrix, like in little pods.
Yep. Did you see Keon in the little?
Yeah, 100%.
He was in the.
He was in the pod.
Yeah,
100%. So then he shows him this world. He's like, well, if we bring Krypton back, what does that mean for this world? And the images completely change.
He's literally on a pile of skulls.
And he's like, Krypton's got to be built on something.
On a foundation. Yeah.
And his essential plan was to kill every single person on Earth and rebuild Krypton through that.
He could have lied, know, to be a better villain. I mean, he could have been like, dude, look, man, just help me do this and then we're good. We'll
but
coexist.
You know why, though? He didn't, because he's
a sincere general guy.
Well, no, being that he was bred, he has one interest.
One purpose only.
To keep Krypton going.
Yep.
To safeguard the world of Krypton, which makes him a very understandable villain. Like, you're just like, I see your motivation. I know why you're doing
He doesn't
this.
have the capacity to think otherwise.
Those are usually the best villains, too.
Yeah, like, it's not that you're wrong. It's just that what you want to do causes the genocide of every human on Earth. But I get it. You don't want to be alone. You want your people back.
At best, it makes it debatable.
Yes, at best, yes, exactly.
He's stuck in the middle on it.
Yeah,
He's stuck in the middle.
He had to definitely chill on that one a little bit.
So they throw Lois in jail. Luckily, she still has that. She has the shard of that Clark used and that came to this Earth because I guess Clark gave it to her.
Yes.
She uploads that to the mainframe, which that shard is Jor-El's consciousness.
Yes.
He changes the atmosphere from Kryptonian to Earth, so it's oxygen. So now she can take off her mask, and Superman
can be Superman.
Gets his strength back.
Yep.
Jor-El guides her through everything as the computer.
Shoot to your left.
Yeah,
shoot to your right.
Oh yeah,
that's
most handy or
awesome
annoying AI ever. Like, imagine if that was a thing.
Yeah. Put your head slightly to the left.
Yeah.
That was awesome. And in that moment, important Flora took.
You'd have to be a good
back.
listener too. Sorry to talk over. You have to be a good listener too.
Speaking of being a good listener,
well, no. See, that's where you missed. He didn't take the hard drive back. Those keys, I think, are for everybody that are a command thing, because when Zod does his thing later, it's got his symbol on it. So Lois gets ejected from like an ejection pod back to Earth, and then Jor-El meets up with Superman. Is just like, punch that wall right there.
Yep.
So he punches the wall
very casually.
and he's basically like, "This is the last time I'm ever gonna see you."
Yep.
So go be the hero and the savior to the human race that I know you can be, and eventually the people will join you in the sun. And so as Superman exits the spaceship in a Christ-like pose as the savior, he hauls ass, saves Lois from dying from the fall. And after they land, you see Superman stop immediately and turn around. This goes back to focus in on my voice from earlier, where he hears that his mom's having an issue.
Oh, yeah.
Because Zod and the rest of the crew show up at the Kent farm.
Rest of the gang.
Looking for the Codex because they believe that it's a thing still.
They were going to talk about Mormonism.
Yeah. Have you?
Yeah. Have you talked about
John
Lord
Smith?
Jesus Christ?
That'd be fucked up. They come all that way and all they are is Mormons.
Yeah. Of course you'd be Mormons.
Even you guys don't believe in Scientology and you come from fucking outer space. So.
Well, you see, Joseph's. Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, Joseph.
He grabs Mrs. Kent by the throat.
Big mistake.
And gets taken the fuck out immediately.
You don't touch
Superman.
Mama Bear.
Yeah. And as he's beating Zod into the ground, he's like, "You never touch my mother!"
Yeah.
And then slams him through 2 concrete silos and a gas station, which explodes. And
Yep.
This is where the scratching of the surface starts talking.
This is where he starts to destroy his city. And you're like, hey, man, maybe save some of this stuff.
Everybody starts running.
Yeah.
And that's a point. Everybody's like, he doesn't
Wouldn't
try to
you?
save anybody. But as you watch this whole scene, he saves as many people as he can while getting his ass whooped.
Yeah.
The whole
Right.
time, he saves pilots from falling. He saves people from getting hit by trucks and shit like that.
Also indirectly, cause of some
yeah,
death.
absolutely. Absolutely. Like in Smallville, I'm going to say that battle probably killed 20 people.
I was gonna go.
He takes a page out of O.J. Simpson's book, and we don't talk about the L.A. thing.
Yeah.
We don't talk about the first time.
I'm Florida OJ.
It was early in his career. Okay, we can't cancel that.
So the U.S. military says, for the greater good, we're going to shoot the fuck out of this whole city.
Yep.
And they bring in 4 A-10 Warthogs and just level Main Street. Shoot Clark, they shoot the Kryptonians, they shoot mom and pop stores. As I swear to God, I thought I saw a Scion get shot up in that scene. And
either way, the people are expendable.
At this
whether it
point.
be the government or it be like the enemy, either way, we're the ones that are kind of used as these pawns and poker chips. All right, we'll sacrifice 100 of them because fuck you.
Just they didn't realize what a waste of bullets it was, and it was just only going to serve as more of a danger. But
well, you got to remember at that point they didn't know the Kryptonians were
I know.
indestructible.
Yeah, I just wish they would have gotten the clue.
Yeah, because they did do like 3 runs.
Like,
And
did
on
you
the
not see their fucking space technology, dude? You think your missile's gonna do anything?
The second run, the Kryptonians jump, land on the cockpit. There's a slow. If you slow this fucking image down, it literally Kryptonian picks the guy out of the seat, rips his head off, and throws his body behind as he's destroying this plane, which
Badass.
crashes into Main Street, blows up.
Yeah.
You hope nobody died there.
More pawns.
Except for the guy who got his head ripped off.
Well, fuck that guy.
No, there's still hope.
Superman didn't do it then.
Right.
So
we don't count that destruction because that's bad guy destruction.
exactly.
We'll just charge them later.
Stop being the media or cancel culture, whatever it is.
As the Kryptonians are going through, they're fighting the humans too, not just Superman. And Superman saves a couple of the guys there. One of them tries to fight them with a knife. And luckily, Superman saved his ass.
Yeah.
And because that would have been an ugly.
He brought a knife to a
And well, she
superhero
actually
fight.
said, a warrior's death is a noble one or something like that. After that, they break her visor, which causes all the sensory
All the
shit
input,
to come in.
over censor.
That is where I first noticed I really liked her acting because she was I don't know, just it like how
she
she
looked like
changed.
she was in pain.
Well, like, yeah, but she was delivering her line like cold-bloodedly, and then she does that thing where like she gets but just like how like her mannerisms, how she made the face going from one to the other. It was very fluid. It seemed very real.
I think you recognize like professional courtesy or just like respect.
He
for
even
an
said
actor.
that during the movie. He's like, "Wow, dude, she's a good actress.
She's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's pretty hot.
And then everybody, all the military at that point stop and they're getting ready to turn on Superman for some stupid reason. And the major or captain or whatever he was turns and says, this man is not our enemy.
Yes.
It's the first realization that though he is an alien, he's not against us.
Is that when they start not pointing their guns at him?
Yeah. They stop worrying about attacking him. At that point, Zod launches the second part of his plan, which is to terraform all of Earth into...
Yeah.
That's a haunting sound, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm gonna have nightmares to that sound.
Oh, I sleep to it.
Remember that you just said that when we watched Batman vs Superman.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
buddy.
Oh boy.
So the 2 ships land on opposite sides of the Earth and infuse it with energy, essentially, which is causing the mass to expand. As we all know in science, when mass expands, the gravity expands, which is more
I knew
Kryptonian.
that.
Shit, yeah.
Well, and when when a world is huge, the gravity is crazy heavy.
More pull.
I knew that, right?
So you're seeing this world engine pull all this debris up and then slam it on the
Amazing debris, like an amazing just,
CGI.
cinematography and CGI. You see cars and entire
Just like a
shit just flying up and slamming down.
like a guy with a hookup at a nightclub. It's got some pull, man.
It definitely had some pull. Oh, one of the things I forgot to say is when Lois was in the ship, Jor-El taught her how to destroy the world engine and everything that.
And he
Zack was
low-key
gonna
said,
do.
please take my son's virginity. I think he's going crazy.
That thing was scary. Like send in the world engine. You
Yeah,
see
the
this
world engine.
Like, oh, this can't be good.
I mean, I think you had to clarify. You were like, what is it called? The Brock?
Yeah.
And he said
the
world
world
engine
engine.
again. You're like, oh, boy.
Yeah, this is not good.
That was a good marketing strategy. That sounds intimidating.
Yeah.
So there's one in Metropolis and one in the Indian Ocean. Superman goes to stop the one in the Indian Ocean, and they stop the one in Metropolis. So Superman's very, very weak. In which, a little bit of trivia: when Superman goes to attack it, these little tentacle things come out.
Yes.
What
And-
are those?
So
Nanotechnology from Kryptonian
here's the crazy part:
or Brainiac shit.
when Kevin Smith was involved with Superman Lives, directing it.
Superman lives.
Yeah, that was his script. He wrote that Superman was going to attack this machine and tentacles were coming out of it. And the studio was like, bro, that's so stupid. Nobody's going to believe that.
Oh, okay.
And so Kevin Smith made it a point to point that out. It's like, I mean,
And Snyder, I'm sure is buddy with Smith. They just
Yeah,
seem
yeah,
to
yeah.
fit.
they're not as buddy buddies as you'd think, but they're learning to be buddy buddy now.
And like the shitty part is like what a studio would do is like they'll tell you this script sucks.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, write that down. Like,
Serious.
somehow he probably got, it was relayed to him.
Oh,
and-
yeah, I don't doubt it at all.
Just like a coffee talker, we
Well,
know.
Yeah.
Well, the guy who did that Superman that suggested that.
What
with
guy
Kevin
got to
Smith,
do Superman?
The
Oh,
guy
yeah,
who suggested the little tentacle arms.
Yes.
Went off and he's like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna put tentacle arms in my next movie, Wild Wild West."
Oh, my God.
No. Oh
Okay.
no.
That big
That makes
robotic
sense. It's the
spider.
same thing. Yeah. Fucking
So
A.
his idea was either the robot tentacles, which is what Kevin Smith's initial idea was. He was like, "Yeah, we'll go with that."
Hold
He's
the
like,
fuck up.
But I
Listen.
think, hold on.
Superman Lives came out when?
It never came out. It was never made.
Okay. Thank you. Because I was confusing with the other one.
No, Superman Lives.
Okay.
Nothing says a grade A movie like Tentacles and Will Smith.
I mean,
Well, that's the part of it. So the guy was like, "All right, I'll go with you, Kevin Smith, if we want to do this tentacle thing." He's like, "But I think they should fight a giant mechanical robot." And Kevin Smith's like, "No." And he's like, "Fine, I'll put it in my next movie."
Yeah,
Yep.
fine. I'm gonna use it anyways.
oh
Asshole.
boy, Hollywood.
Look, I got Will Smith in the Tentacles.
Hollywood first
You
world
don't.
problems.
Calvin Klein.
Then they had a Pizzagate party. Whoa.
So-
Whoa.
Clark goes to the Indian Ocean. That he fights the tentacle world
Thing.
engine defense system.
Yeah.
And
Not good.
while the world engine he's fighting and gets eventually pulled under to, it's weakening him because it is Kryptonian.
Mm-hmm. Stuff.
Yes, stuff. So eventually he flies, blows that thing the fuck up.
Is this what? It's a stupid question, but is this Kryptonian? Obviously, this is where kryptonite
Yeah.
is from. But what is it, like a rock? What is kryptonite?
It's an element.
It's an element.
It is an element.
So what it was is after the planet exploded, kryptonite became the radioactive rocks
I
from
see.
that explosion.
Gotcha.
Like nuclear winter.
Because you saw how
aftermath shit.
you saw how the Kryptonian atmosphere fucked him up.
Yep.
Yep.
So you put that in the rock form. That's kryptonite. So after he destroys the first world engine, the other one's kind of useless. It's not. It's just floating above, but they still got to take it out because God knows what they can get the other one running again or whatever. So they do destroy it with the information that Lois gave them, and then you're like, oh, the movie's over.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
The destruction is done.
Very much so. Yeah, we got to see like all the major villains outside of really one key one kind of finally go.
And then Lois and Clark kiss, and you're like, all right, this has to be the end of the movie.
While Josh and I are laughing about they just there's dead bodies everywhere.
Yeah.
There's like a dead baby in the corner, but they're choosing this time to kiss.
Yes, because
but,
honestly, like
You
10
want to like
city
suck
blocks,
face or?
I mean, nothing gets me like the smell of death.
Like,
Yeah, like they're all-
because at that point there's like
Don't
10
talk.
city blocks gone, right?
Yes.
It's got to be more because that thing that was going whoop, 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 boom, whoop, 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 like that. It was spread out.
There was mass fucking destruction.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all right, we'll say 20. That's because 20 city blocks is a big fucking.
I would almost call it,
pump-
what's a Nagasaki or like one of those.
That's about right.
Pump
areas.
those rookie numbers up. Okay.
So you probably think 10,000 people at this point completely dead,
Gone.
smushed,
Yeah.
gone. Just they're not existing.
Thank God
anymore.
nobody else is gonna get hurt.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought when I was watching it in IMAX too.
Yeah.
And then you see this big pile of rubble get thrown to the side, and
Then you look at
Zack-
your ticket; it says 10 p.m. and it's until 10 p.m. It's only 9:30. You're like, oh boy.
fuck.
The beautiful part about the debris you're talking about, that fiery debris that
Yeah.
comes down, is that we get to see where it lands in Batman vs Superman.
Oh.
So he oh my God, Superman turns around and he's just like, what the fuck is that? And it's Zod
on his
knees, basically saying,
I'll suck your dick.
Did he collapse on there? Is that what was, because it kind of made like a boom and like kind of smoke kind of like
no,
like
I
came
think,
up. Was
I
that
think
him
he
or
was
is that a
under it
building?
because of the ship crashing. He was just in the wreckage and he just threw the shit off him and he's just like, you've taken away my purpose.
soul is what he said, and yeah, which is his soul and everything. I mean, purpose.
Yeah, my purpose, which was to recreate Krypton and have something I could be the general of again. And so he's just like, this is now going to end one way. Either you die or I die.
I believe you said Trump 2020.
Yeah, that's exactly
MAGA.
And they ran at each other. And the thing that...
This battle.
Then this is where the shit really starts. Every time Superman hits Zod, every time Zod hits Superman, it's a sonic boom. They're
breaking the
hitting each other.
sound barrier with each fucking punch.
And the crazy part about this is that through this battle, Zod's getting stronger and stronger.
Because he's learning to hone his skills because he's a fucking trained machine.
Yep. Zod throws him into this one building. Actually, before that, there's a scene where
They
Zod
go through like 8
throws
buildings.
Superman up in the air,
and
Superman's up floating, and Zod's on the ground. He hasn't learned how to fly yet, and Zod starts running at him
like a fucking
panther.
Yeah, exactly.
And Superman flies at him. Sonic, when they hit, it's like a sonic boom that destroys that building.
Yep.
That building totally gets fucked. But again,
Put it on the tab. It's fine.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And so after that, they get slammed in this one building, and Zod's heat vision kicks in.
Oh, big time.
And he's just cutting this building up into
And you get to see more of that in Batman vs.
and
Superman.
and that building's very important. Hundreds of pieces, and it starts toppling over. They're running, they're flying out, they start fighting again.
Oh, those shots in the air, dude.
Yeah, with the punches, but
Yeah.
we haven't even gotten there yet.
Okay.
Then they land. What's up, Josh?
No, I was gonna say I have to wonder how Zack Snyder does, because I really think why his CGI looks so good is he really has. Did Zack Snyder do 300
Yes,
too?
he did.
I really think he has a knack for understanding. Well, obviously it's not. It's not a hot take, but there's a reason why his CGI scenes have a nice flow and look real, is because he can really envision what the camera needs to pick up and what the camera needs to do during those moments. Because I wonder, in a town like that, do they make some type of full-scale replica of the town to establish
I would not
what the camera movements are going to be?
I would not put it past
They
Snyder.
did use a real town in that.
Okay.
It's just so one of the things I've learned about Snyder is his color grade is what makes a lot of his CGI really good. Because if you watch Justice League, who changed the color tone, the CGI looks wonky.
Just look at
fuck.
Steppenwolf, dude.
Yeah, well, but he changed the design of Steppenwolf.
Yeah,
so that's a different thing
entirely.
altogether.
But, I mean,
but so then this fight's. They land in this building. It looks like it's still under construction because there's metal beams sitting around, I-beams. And
he smacks Superman with
that's where Zod says, I am a warrior. I've learned to hone my skills over my whole life. And literally strips all the armor off.
Kryptonian armor,
and can fly now.
Yep.
So
just
now
like
this brings it to the next level.
Yeah.
They start fighting in air with that whole the shot that Zack created. Punch.
And follow the person of impact.
Punch and just keep going. Slamming into buildings. I mean,
lots of destruction.
I remember when Terminator 3 came out, that was like hailed as like, look at the CGI in this like big full scale epic destruction. And like Terminator 3 was what, maybe 2003 or something like that.
I remember liking it.
But it was hailed as like,
the
perfect
CGI
CGI at the time. And now going from that to this,
Snyder
just looking at what they can accomplish.
Insane.
Wow.
It's insane. And he's getting his hands on that technology from The Mandalorian where you're on a green screen set where the camera, everything's in focus on it's a weird technology.
That's actually, I believe that's from video games, like where like they can act in the environment they're at. Like they can see live on the camera what they're looking at.
No, this is different. So all they did for the whole Mandalorian was on a very small soundstage. There was no in-person thing. So everything that's not within 50 feet of the actor is all computer graphic background.
Yes.
And it's a screen that once you film it, that is already there. And so if you look to the right, the whole CG thing's filled in, like accurate as fuck.
Right.
And to the left. It's different. I know exactly what you're talking about. That's what they did with Avatar.
Kinda. It's essentially like a lot of the actors get to work with an actual environment that they have
on a
instead
green
of
screen.
on a green screen, exactly, and they can kind of see it in real time.
Snyder is also fantastic with like just building little sets.
Yes.
You know, like
sets he doesn't.
as per Watchmen as well.
Yep.
He just can build the perfect set. So yes.
So they're beating the fuck out of each other, and I think somebody did the total. I think they said about 40,000 people died.
Whoa!
in this, I think that in the Snyderverse it's called the Zero event or the
there is reference to that. Yes.
So they eventually crash land in basically what their Grand Central Station is, and Zod sees a family. And he's like,
a whole family.
if you love these people so much,
then mourn for
you
them.
can mourn for them. And as he uses his little heat visions, Superman's trying
ever so closer
not
to the
to-
family, and he's got him in a headlock.
You said 40,000 people died.
Yeah.
September 11th,
Oh,
3,000 people died, but it cost $22 billion for 3,000 people. 40,000 people.
I don't know why this is. All right, let me just point out, because I'm a Batman geek. Bruce Wayne has like what's called the Batman slush fund, where all that destruction is paid for.
No way.
They
cover that
for Batman. I don't know about Superman at this point in the Snyder.
That he was born in Kansas.
Yeah, he does not.
He doesn't got a lie. He hops from job to job. The guy can't hold down a
Who's
job.
gonna
Come
collect
on.
that debt from Superman though?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, not me.
Nah.
No, I'm not getting laser eyes.
Fuck that shit.
Okay, so so here was the oh god, that's so terrible. They thought 129,000 people would have been missing and 250,000 dead.
Wow,
was
man.
the actual number.
Whoa.
With the economic damage to be somewhere
Trillions.
No, that's the way you look at it, guys. Job creators. Job creators.
Yeah, job creators because you just killed a bunch of people and now you got some open jobs.
And construction.
Yeah.
Renovation.
Yeah.
Forward thinking.
Nobody to build anything.
Silver linings.
So they say that the damage to the whole city would have been 700 billion.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I got that.
And that's
hanging
just physical structural damage.
Right.
Not talking about economic damage and all that. They said the estimation would have been $2 trillion of that battle.
Knocked them boys into a recession.
And then you flash back to that
package.
And you flash back to that scene with him in handcuffs and he's like, "Are you sure you're not gonna like do anything bad to us?"
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
No.
And so
You guys print money, right?
They should make a villain that's called the Debt Collector. This is a brilliant idea.
So what's his?
He's smoking a cigarette and he's just stressed because it's just such a stressful job. I got to go collect almost $2 trillion from Superman again.
All right, I actually love that idea. By the way,
there was a TV show they tried to do with that, but I think Fox turned it down or somebody turned it down.
Oh well, they suck.
Where they were an insurance company that just was covering what these fucking people were doing.
You're right. This sounds vaguely familiar.
And they turned it down. They're like, nobody wants to watch an insurance salesman TV show. It's like,
you
missed it.
They didn't get it.
Yeah.
They didn't.
They didn't get it, but it's like maybe it's good for a movie, not a reoccurring series, though.
I don't know.
Miniseries, like
Imagine the boys.
Yeah.
Imagine the boys on Amazon
Just
if they
on
were
the other
debt
side of it.
collectors. Right.
Yeah.
Well, look, they made more damage.
Somebody's
Guess
gonna
we
make $1
gotta pay
billion
for it.
off of this fucking idea here. All
Poor
right.
bastard. They're like, who's gonna pay the deductible?
Yeah.
So then Zod is like, Superman's like, stop it.
Oh yeah,
And he's
please.
like, never.
Yep. And that was the final signature for him to cross a
And
big
he
line.
cracked his neck so hard.
Well,
that there was a sonic boom.
Yeah.
You said he was trying to kill people?
Yep.
Okay.
A family.
Yep.
Yeah, those laser beams were going for a family of like 5.
Yep.
And that
was
huge neck
contentious. That next snap was contentious.
True Superman fans for years, decades, or longer were mad that he broke the golden rule.
Superman doesn't kill.
Yes, but Snyder's big about like
Making him real.
evolution.
No, he just causes
Yes.
property damage. Jesus.
Well, he's big about making it realistic. Like if these gods have these massive fights, a lot of people are gonna die.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
You could
but-
call it like Mother Nature battling Earth, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's exactly what it is. And if Zod's never gonna stop this crusade,
No more Phantom Zone.
you've got. I mean, that's his only option is to kill.
Yep. And he screamed in agony to his credit.
Yes.
Because I mean, for maybe multiple reasons, but he did not want to. And that was the last species of his own.
Yes, the last
line
known alive Kryptonian.
Correct. Yeah.
And so, not only was he responsible for the uplifting of an alien species to him, but he was responsible for the death of his people.
Yeah.
In the end.
That's right.
So it was a massive physical toll on him. Mentally.
Emotional, psychological, like he just lost.
Is this saying that aliens cause this much property destruction?
Always.
Wow. 100%.
It's messed
100%.
up. It's messed
So
up.
our immigration problems, like right now,
Through the roof.
yeah.
And so the world...
Literally, the roof is gone.
And you got to think,
for sure.
the world watched all this happen.
Yep.
So as you'll see in Batman v Superman, they're not like, dude, let's call it even.
Yeah,
We're
no.
good.
Nobody's
That's
just cool
awesome.
with it. There's accountability, and we love
I'm
that it's
so
stuck in the
pumped
middle.
for that, yeah.
I'm so glad we got him pumped for BVS.
Yeah, to the point where, you'll see there's congressional hearings about it.
Yep.
And shit
Whoa.
like that.
Yeah, dude, for real.
Yeah.
People go to jail. You're like, wait, what?
They would do it if they could.
You get to like a minor spoiler. You get to see like Superman sit before a committee, being judged for his actions.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And so next time you see Superman, it's Swanwick and some captain, I think she was.
oh yeah, the hot captain chick.
They're
who said-
riding in like a Jeep or something, and then just a fucking drone just comes falling out of the sky.
20 million was it?
Oh yeah,
18 million.
Yeah,
$18 million
This thing
drone.
12 million. 12 million.
Destroyed, like one of those Predator drones that everybody talks about all the time.
Did I hear the general correct when he got out? He says, "Are you effing crazy?"
Yeah.
He said effing.
Yeah.
Ah,
I mean, military uniform, you can't really.
sure. Makes sense though because of who.
Sure.
If this was 2021 Snyder, he'd be like, "Are you fucking crazy?" Like,
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure people during battle don't cuss at all because
Yeah.
they're in uniform.
exactly.
Hey, you
100%.
effing B? Quit,
Stop
man.
trying to stab me.
Yeah, that effing hurt.
Yeah.
And
effing.
so Superman, he lands. He's like, "Look, General, I understand you're trying to find out where I hang my cape."
Yeah.
He's like, "But don't worry about it." He's like, "How do we know you're not going to act on
Against America's best interest. Yeah.
He's like, "I was raised in Kansas."
Yeah.
Yeah, no, nobody goes like, have I done anything serious yet? He's like, yeah, the city's gone, bro.
$2 trillion.
Yeah. What?
129,000 people.
Yeah.
Ring a bell?
Dead.
No,
And you're gonna be facetious right now? Bad timing.
You're kind of a dick. I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
a little bit of a power play on Superman's.
Super dick.
So he's like, yeah, I would never do anything bad, man. I've been raised in Kansas my
Yes,
whole life.
I'm American.
American as they come.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I don't know. He's like, well, I guess you're just gonna have to trust me. And and he doesn't hesitate, which is
So you're like, you know what? Fine. What's the worst that can happen?
it's a little foreshadowing.
Yes, big
how
time.
trusting.
Huge time.
And he says and Superman says to Swanwick very snarkily, well, I guess you're just going to have to trust me. Just like you got some knowledge that nobody else knows you
A
have.
little nod.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Do I find this out in
No.
BVS or
No.
JL?
JL. And it's more further than BVS, by the way.
Yeah.
What is?
That the fact that he's got a little more knowledge than the average bear.
Oh, for sure.
Not just because he's in his position.
It's really
Right.
hard to hold that one in, but I got it.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I mean, and then
And the chick was when after Superman, at this point, are you saying he's about to go his up and away?
Yep. And he takes off, gone. Sonic boom, gone.
And the female soldier is like, I love
Blushing.
inadvertent murder on a grand scale.
Yeah.
Superman is pretty hot.
Yeah, Superman's pretty hot, and
Yeah.
and the captain's and General Swan's like, get the fuck back.
He has that ability, like after this mass destruction, make out with a girl. Like
Just
these
flash
girls
that
are like,
boyish smile.
Uh-huh.
He just like he does that. Oh,
He's like
thing.
the Mentos Fresh Maker guy, like grand scale destruction. Look
have
at
a
my
Mentos.
smile. I'm all American.
So he talks with his mom at his destroyed ass house.
Yeah, Mama Bear just
And-
cleaning up,
Which we
taking
get some
stuff
peace
out.
on later on.
Yeah, and his mom is like, it's just things. It's cool. No, it's not like anybody died. 129,000.
Yeah. It's just things, just $2 trillion worth of things.
But our things aren't broken.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, we're good.
And he's
We're
like,
good.
she's like, so what are you gonna do next? Because you're clearly not fucking living here.
Yeah, you gotta go.
Yeah, you gotta get out of here. And he's like, well, I
You
gotta
have
get
to
a
leave the
job.
state.
I
Yeah.
gotta get a job because.
And then this is where Josh's enlightenment kicks in.
Yeah, he's like, I gotta get a job where I could put my ear to the ground and just always have my view always on the world.
Yes.
So he goes to the Daily Planet.
I love the name of that, by the way.
Yep.
Compounding meaning.
And Lois Perry White brings him up, and he's like, "This is Lois," and he's like, "Hello, Lois," and she goes, "Welcome to the planet."
Yes. And let's not forget the guy that is going to get Me Too'd. He had tickets
the
to
Laker tickets or whatever the fuck it was.
He goes up to Lois. Hey, Lois, you want to go catch the game?
No, he said, you feel like throwing me a bone? And
Yeah. And
I've
then
got front row seats.
he gets rejected, and then he goes to the next chick.
How about you? And she's like, no.
And we're just like, this is 2013. This would not translate right
At
now.
all.
And yeah, they would digitize him out a la Pepe Le Pew.
Exactly. That guy is gone.
So
And then they
It's gonna be just a blank screen for his parts, just like he's photoshopped out.
he's already
and that was it.
canceled.
And I think that last line is awesome. where she's
Welcome to
like,
the planet.
Welcome to the
Fuck
planet.
yeah.
And he's like, thank you. And then boom.
And
it
we
just ends.
and it's the invention of Clark Kent.
Yes, and that
was
Clark Kent. Now
Yeah.
Clark Kent matters, not Superman.
Correct, because the
He's-
whole movie is about Superman figuring out
How to be Clark Kent.
How to be a human, like how
Yeah.
to kind of blend in to be like a human.
human, American, yada yada. So Josh, what was your take at the end? You were
Yeah,
very
what is your
satisfied?
rating?
Yeah.
Here, Josh.
My do we have any special stuck in the movie rating scale?
We can make one up right
Wherever
now.
you go.
do we do
we'll go.
popcorns? Do we do popcorns? Maybe
What, actually, here we go. Yeah. What size popcorn do you give this?
with a small, medium, and large.
Yep.
Large being the best.
Yep. Large
Yes.
being the best.
I would say
Or you could say, like, when you want to go half, you'd like half a thing of large popcorn.
to me it'd be like this. It'd be a medium popcorn with a fat thing of Reese's and a nice soda.
So, like, a good meal.
Yeah. Right.
That you know what? I like it. I like it. For me, it's like a half eaten large bucket of popcorn. So it's a great. It's not my favorite of all the Snyder movies, but
Right.
it is definitely up there.
Oh, it's far up there.
It made me, the only really I'm not too big a fan of Star Wars. I liked Rogue One. I'm not too big a fan of comic book movies. I really like The Dark Knight. So to me, it has that. I really like The Watchmen. It has that type of tone.
You like the grounded reality.
I do. I don't know why,
where
but
there's
I do.
repercussions for every. That's why I like it. Where there's repercussions for everything that happens.
we couldn't have picked a better genre and director for this.
Yeah,
guy.
I think you're gonna enjoy.
You're gonna be
the
very
rest
pleased.
of the trilogy.
Yes.
Ooh, I'm pumped. I don't know. I feel like I should wait for the BVS.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You gotta wait for us, because.
I haven't even seen the
Oh,
extended
you haven't seen the
cut,
Ultimate Edition.
so we're
That's right.
both.
So
I
you
saw
both
the
are going in
theatrical.
blind.
Okay.
So
You
yeah,
both are going
I know
in
there's
blind.
like 15 minutes that change the entire
30.
flow. 30 fucking minutes. All right.
Wow.
And they're and for this, you're gonna watch the 4K IMAX version of it.
Hollywood, stop fucking with my boy Snyder. Let his vision
Let him fucking
let him
do
do what he does.
what he does. Like,
For crying out loud.
when we do BVS, by the way, I will point out to you the parts that were completely taken out of the movie. And you're gonna be like, why? That gives all the context.
Yes.
It's literally all
Really?
the context. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Studios.
There's a lot of context in the movie. So what about you?
All right, so I have to go with small, medium, or large. That's all I got.
Yeah,
or I
three.
could. Okay,
Or you know what? Supersize. You can go supersize too.
okay, so I'm gonna go with the large popcorn
Okay.
because I was actually thinking either or supersize or large with extra butter because that's what I fucking
Yeah,
love.
there you go, there
so
you
I'm
go.
going with it's the large size.
Yeah.
I love Superman. I'm a true fan from. My father bought me the Death of Superman graphic novel like out of the blue in 1992.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a huge fanboy geek when it comes to DC.
He got blown away in a twister too. My dad did. I feel like it only happens to dads. They
Yeah,
just get
100%.
blown
Did
away.
he
in twisters.
eloquently just disappear?
Yeah.
See, what is that?
I don't know.
I didn't hear like a what?
No, nothing. Didn't even get hit by nothing.
I mean, so he went out at
Sounds
least.
like a man.
He went graceful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I was
all right.
like, my dad was like reaching his hand out, like, no, don't come to me. I was like, I wasn't. Anyways, dude, there's a tornado behind you, guy.
you bastard.
Now, because you have further knowledge of it, what do you look back on this as a better movie?
Yes,
Okay.
that's the masterful that's the way Snyder does things.
Yeah.
Everything is
gives
better.
you a little bit of seeds to be
Yes.
like, don't worry, just hang out. This will pay off.
That
eventually.
one thing that we're working so hard on not saying that really I was like, how did I not?
Well, also, even his father always saying, "Don't show yourself yet. Don't show yourself yet. Don't show yourself yet."
Yeah,
that comes in big in the play in the Snyder in Zack Snyder's Justice League.
And I think I said immediately after, like, now I want to watch Justice League again. And it took me 3 days.
You said before, you're like, I'm not watching it.
Yeah, like literally, I'm like, I
again.
can't do a 4-hour another session.
And I was like, "You pussy! I've seen it 7
Yeah,
times."
I know.
Dude, I don't even know how you've done that, Brock. It's
Seriously,
like
man.
Easy.
you just play it while you're sleeping?
No, my phone app. So I'm at work. I'm listening to it.
Oh, wow.
And that brings it to a different level for me because now I'm listening to only the dialogue, and
Right.
I'm, and you're really figuring out deeper motivations for characters.
And the symphonies and yeah.
Oh, well, I've listened to the soundtrack a bunch too.
Nice.
So what's our next movie, boys?
You picked it.
The Hunt.
I would love to do The Hunt.
I'm excited because
I
it's
hear
such a
about that,
fun,
too.
violent,
I'm always down
violent
for fun and violence.
movie, and it
Is it mindless? Like,
no.
is there a little mindless, like as in like the violence, just kind of like fun, like
do
over
you
the
have
top.
to like really pay attention to the?
It makes fun of the
minute things?
PC culture.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm down.
It is so, and it's so like just beautiful. It's so appropriate
Yeah.
for Stuck in the Middle too.
Yeah.
It's
Sounds-
fucking perfect.
Sounds
Perfect.
amazing.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm pumped
down.
for that.
But yeah, man, I am so happy we got this done.
Yeah.
Please, let's do this again very soon.
Okay.
Yeah, let's try not to take such a big time off in between it. But you know,
And yeah,
we're trying, man.
Let's do that,
Yes.
and let's make sure we do that secret plan that we all want to do.
Absolutely.
what's the
Okay.
secret plan?
Yep.
You know?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That thing.
Oh,
thing.
like that involves falling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you got it. Nail on the head.
Supermaning.
Yeah.
So yeah, Supermaning.
That
I'm gonna-
ho!
nice.
All right, so we hope you enjoyed
Yeah.
the show.
And I'm sure you're watching this on Stuck in the Middle, but this is where you can find Stuck in the Movies, right in the Stuck in the Movies playlist. Yeah, man. Thanks for hanging out with us, and I hope you enjoyed the time with us because we enjoyed it with you.
And on YouTube, you'll see my pretty face.
Dark side.
Dark side. Yeah, I love that.
Dark side.
All right, it's been another one, boys.
Until next time.
See you guys.
I'm Josh.
I'm Eli.
And I am Brock. See you guys in the movies.
Profit is not theft.